Okay, welcome everyone to RBNV for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. And I have the usual agenda. But before we start, we've got the next presentation. We've got Mark Dombrowski in June, the fourth Tuesday of June, talking about a new framework that he's developed. And I don't understand what it is, but he'll tell us. Any other news, DPIG news that we want to highlight?
No, I guess I can bring up Moon Day again. If anyone's thinking of volunteering and I haven't yet, we have a handful of volunteers, but we could always use more. So,
okay, Moon Day.
Yeah.
Is that the 18th?
I think I know. I should have let that up before I started talking about it, but yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes, 18. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a leader to coordinate everyone?
That would be me up until the day. Yeah. I might even take time away from the Texas Haunters Con to run over there and spend time. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, I plan on organizing as much as I can until I can, and then I'll hand off to someone who's going.
Okay.
I think Trish might have volunteered, but I can't recall. I'll find out. She does have a big group going, which is cool.
Yeah, and that'll be pretty cool because Kareem, I assume you're going and you'll have your FTC team there.
That's a pretty good assumption.
and then we'll have a VEX team there, so be a strong representation from high school robotics, which seems like it should be right in line with what that event is all about.
Yep.
Cool.
If I think
Gotta
correctly, I think
have
Mike
the Utes.
hit the Ute. Okay, Ray, you offered to come, I think, Ray and Mike.
I might be able to come. I have to look at some things. I got a bunch of things to do to get scheduled, and
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I might be able to show up, but I don't think I could be there and present and stay.
Scott. That's it. Scott and Trish so far. So, yep.
Probably when we get closer and do a bit more PR on the email list, and I think we usually get a pretty decent turnout.
Yep.
All right. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ray.
okay. Don't know if I can get this to work, but I'll give it a try. All right. Might start echoing, but
And we have 2 Rays. Yeah.
screen. Sounds like it's echoing. And it's not showing me much here. Oh, that's probably why. Uh-huh. Right, Ed. Oh. God, it's a pain in the neck on the phone. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is not working here. This is not cooperating.
So Paul, why is your screen so big on your presentation screen?
What do you mean? Why is my screen?
It's like about twice as wide as everybody else's. You have a fancy monitor?
He's important.
Ah,
No, I think just because I'm at the bottom, maybe. I don't know.
okay.
Okay. Start sharing. Start now. Okay, it says I'm sharing my entire screen, but it's blank. Why don't we have somebody else go, and I'll see if I can figure out what's going on.
Okay. Let's see. I had.
Oh, there was something I wanted to ask real quick. I have an old Bridgeport CNC that I need to retrofit because the controls are going out. Has there anybody ever heard of like a Mesa 7177 board? It's like one of the boards that you can use to retrofit a machine like that. Does anybody have experience with that?
Not personal, no, but I'm sure because we have Bridgeports and similar machines at the Makespace. I'm wondering if one of the crew there in the machine shop would have the idea.
Okay, yeah, it uses Linux CNC.
Huh.
And so basically with a, like a Raspberry Pi 5, you can, this one had DC servo motors that ran the 3 axes, X, X, Y, and Z. And with this controller, basically, well, the servo drivers in the thing can be reused, and what they expect is a plus minus 10 volt analog signal to make the drives work.
Yeah.
And this board creates that, or has that. And there's other different methods, if you're using stepper motors, and but my mill doesn't have stepper motors. It's got analog motors or DC motors.
Huh.
Anyway, so yeah, I was kind of curious about that, but doesn't sound like anybody has played around with that.
Yeah.
So that's a relatively cheap option. It's like, I don't know, maybe $350. there's a company called Centroid CNC. That's more in the, maybe $2,500 range. And it seems like Linux CNC, it's open source. So it has a lot more options than their system, which is, it's not open source software. So pretty much you can't, you can't change it, can't modify it. Anyway, so that's one of the projects that I hope to do this summer is get that working again.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually spent the mill cost $200. The company that was using it really didn't know how to program a CNC. They had manual mills, and I actually had to rent a tow truck and a forklift. Because the thing weighs like 3,000 pounds to get it up on the tow truck with the forklift, so I could unload the forklift and the Bridgeport when I got it back home, and then
oh my gosh,
and then return it. And that cost oh god, what was it? It was like just $500 just to get it home. And then I rented what's called a drop deck trailer. It's like on hydraulics.
Yeah,
it goes pretty much flat to the ground, and so when I had it up in the air, I built a base for it with solid like cast iron or steel wheels, and so I could roll it onto the trailer and then take it where I live now. And so that was close to another $500. So it was like probably over $1,000 just to move the thing twice.
Yeah,
and
still a good price for a mill.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the all the waymarks are pretty much there. You don't see any areas where they've been run across so much that they're faded out or anything. So the iron, I guess that's how they describe some of the mills that had good iron, but the controls were from like 1980, I don't know, maybe middle 80s. BOSS, the Bridgeport operating system. So
okay.
Anyway, so yeah, one of the things that I don't have 3-phase power out here, and probably most residences don't. So one of the things you can do, you can take a 3-phase motor and wire it with large capacitors across 2 of the phases, and it'll actually kind of look like a 3-phase generator. And so there's a knife. I think it's called a knife switch. It's a big, mechanical switch.
Big Frankenstein switch.
Yeah, Frankenstein switch. Yeah. So the late 80s. It might have been late 80s. Yeah. It was BOSS 8. So that may have been later 80s. Anyway, so I had to. Yeah, the motor had a pretty good size, 3-belt pulley on it, and I kicked that with my foot, started get it rotating, and then whack, flip the huge switch, and the motor would spin up and generate the pseudo 3-phase, and so yeah, real Frankensteinish,
well, cool
motor,
but it works.
But it did work. So
nice.
Anyway, so I got rid of all that, got a VFD. So now, it still has the Frankenstein switch on the back, but
yeah.
Anyway, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, okay, so I will try to get this up on here. If somebody else wants to go, please do.
By the way, your screen was showing, Ray. It was just showing the interface for the meat on your system.
Oh. Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
So you had the wrong window selected or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird on the phone. It doesn't give me the option to select a window, at least as far as I can tell.
Well, we saw the other ones when you were minimizing your meat. I saw it briefly, so possibly you just need to bring the one to the top.
Okay. I will give it a try. Okay, join here too. Okay. Oh, there I am. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Paul.
Oops. Sorry. My wife just brought me dessert.
Sharing your screen with everyone. Yeah, it just shows a blank screen. Okay. Maybe there's something in settings.
It's just doing a full screen capture, so we're seeing everything your phone is showing you.
Yep. Okay.
Go to that one that says Social Security.
Yeah, right. uh,
No, not that one. The bank account one.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's try that.
Now we see your phone's camera.
Okay, yeah. Sharing. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
I wonder if
I just did this. Okay. That's not what I wanted either. Okay. Are you seeing my screen right now?
Nope.
No. Figures. Okay. God, I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong, but nope. Well, I wanted to show a video of a mower that was using just odometry. Gotta get it back. Go here. Go through this. Anyway, yeah, it used odometry and BNO 055 just as a, for yaw.
You want
And
to share the link? Somebody else can play it.
it's a video on my phone, so I guess I can.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, try to get it going so I could do a video of it again, working. It had been sitting for a while. So, and one of the things it has on it is a RoboClaw, and RoboClaw, you can set limits for the battery. So I had, there's two 12-volt lead acid batteries in series, for 24 volts for the wheelchair motors that the thing has on it. And I was charging the one, and the other had gotten a little bit discharged. So then I moved the charger to the other one. So now my voltage was increased, and I think it was just above the limit that you can set, for the RoboClaw to say, okay, this is, if the voltage goes over this maximum value, I want to, disable basically the RoboClaw. And so, it got really hot this afternoon. I'm pulling this thing out and get it out there, and I'm all set, ready to do the video, and the motors won't spin, and it's like, what's going on here? So I drag it all back inside, try to figure out what it was. And so in the meantime, the one battery, it charges up to like 14.25 volts. And so it had discharged a little bit. And so when I got it back inside my garage, everything started to work again. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just too tired. It's too hot. I'll try to make a video later. So maybe we'll try this at a later date. So, yeah, this is kind of hokey, but I don't know if it'll even work that well. 2,000 pictures I have on my phone.
One thing to think about, Ray, is that if you were trying to share your screen and then go into camera in order to use that to find your video,
Yeah.
it would have prevented you from doing that because it can't run camera at the same time. But if you go in through gallery, you should be able to find your video and play it back.
Okay. Well, I was looking for that, but I couldn't. It didn't seem to give me an option to pull up. Let's see, where is it? That might be it. Nope, that's not it. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay. It's only like a 1-minute video.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so it's autonomous. It's going in one direction, turning on one wheel, coming back, just following the compass heading. And it should do it just for 10 feet, 300 centimeters. And then going back. So it should, I think at the end I show the patterns that you can see in the grass.
Is your wife filming this, Ray?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little hard to see in there, but it pretty much traces over its own wheel marks because it's pivoting on, one wheel or the other. Yeah, you can see them in the grass there. Anyway, that's one thing that I wanted to resurrect.
What was the control algorithm there?
So it's, I wanted to try to simulate how you would mow with it, with a push mower, where you go, down one row, do a 180, mow the next row, do a 180, and keep on.
Sorry, I meant like the sensor algorithms. What are you using?
Oh, just odometry and a B&O 055 to get a heading, a yaw reading, and so you can set what, what heading you want, and you can set the distance, and it doesn't do it yet, but I wanted to set the number of times it would repeat that.
Hey, Ray,
Yeah.
what BNO mode were you using?
I'd have to look it up.
9DOF, I believe.
Because there's compass
Probably.
mode and 9DOF and the gyro only mode.
I think I was using the magnetometer in that because it seemed to work really well outside. So basically it would, find out what, magnetic field of the earth, and
Yeah. So
zero
part of
it
the
forward.
reason I'm asking is because when I've used it in 9DOF or compass mode, you had to spin it around and tilt it up and down to get it to calibrate. Did you have that issue?
Yeah, I think that's what I used to do, because it's basically plumbing fittings, and 055 is just stuck on top of one of the fittings, so I can pop it
Oh,
off.
you just pull it off and swing it around?
Yeah.
That's
all
good. That way you don't have to swing around the robot. I like it.
Much easier. This thing,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. It'd be impossible. So weighs way too much. But
Does it make the same pattern on your rugs when you do it indoors?
no, but I had another one that did a similar pattern in the on my garage floor. And let's see if we can do that again. Coming back, pivoting on wheel with the pen, coming back, pivoting on the other wheel, so on. So it goes on and on. And this is just a push mower. I think I barely show it. Yeah, there it is there.
So there's a diff steer with swivel wheels in the front?
Yeah, casters in the front. Yeah. Yeah, I just laid out tape measures.
Thanks. We're not really picking up the audio from that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just saying it's, I think Doug was using blue tape on the floor, and I just took a magic marker and a huge paper clip and found a place on the frame to clip it to, and it just drug it, on the floor and sketched out the pattern. But I think that one, no, I want to say it was actually both, or the same thing, using odometry and a compass heading to do it. So I was thinking, don't know if that'll be of any value to the Ross group, but it's kind of a simple method. I was going to incorporate a TF Mini Plus on the front and have it scanned, because it's supposed to be good for 12 meters outdoors, and that should be plenty of distance to see if you're going to hit something or an obstacle of some kind, and then try to plan around it. So anyway, it's pretty simple. Maybe getting the robots working, that can be a stepping stone for Paul and his crew for getting Ross up and trying other things.
Ross is actively hostile to simple algorithms. and approaches.
Yep. So I don't know. It's I guess, Paul, you have a pretty good stretch of open land there that kind of borders the lake. Yeah, granted, you don't want your mower going in the lake, but you know, that might be a real simple approach. You know, if you have that sort of setup without a lot of trees and obstacles, and I guess it also, you know, if I do get the TF Mini Plus working on the front, scanning and looking for obstacles, if things are in, you know, the area that you want mowed, it should be able to see them and go around them or avoid them and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Paul, you had a really, I thought it was on your Robo Mo, the big yellow thing. You had a bunch of switches on the front, like six switches for a bumper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever, you know, did that work out? Was that useful?
Never got as far as getting that stuff working.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of doing something like that. So I guess what do you refer to the mowers that you guys have? Are they just the Husqvarna mowers?
They're RoboMo 612Ps.
Okay.
And we call them Moberry.
Oh, Moberry. Okay. That's a good name.
Paul Urbanus likes, who is it? Andy Griffith. Is that where Moberry comes from?
Oh, it could be Mayberry. Yeah.
Mayberry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar. Mayberry RSD. And so these are like Moberry Pie or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's another approach that I wanted to take. These are both with gas engines. The one has the bigger one, just an 11 horse vertical shaft engine. Oh, and that one I've also put an alternator on, and you can switch out the regulators in them. You know, a 24 volt for a 12 volt. So it should be able to, you know, charge the batteries as it goes. So, you know, pretty much all the energy comes from gasoline, but not as environmentally friendly, maybe. But and the other one is you know, just a gas engine, you know, push mower, like I don't even know if it's a 22 inch. It might just be a 20 inch, but I've got some, you know, rough terrain mowing to do, and I had an electric mower long time ago, and that thing was severely underpowered. I mean, it's like I had it, you know, it took forever to mow if the grass was, you know, was tall. So, but so yeah, I'd be kind of curious how you know, the two-bladed mowers that you guys have, how they're going to do in thicker grass. Have you ever tried it in?
Probably it's not going to be great. You know, those RoboMos, domestic robotic mowers aren't really made for tough brush and heavy grass. You know, they're made for keeping your grass nice and trimmed, and they run every few days so that, you know, it never gets long.
Yeah. If we get it seems like I have to mow every week, otherwise it is, you know, it's a foot tall if I wait any longer. And so, and there are you know, everything that's nasty seems to grow out here. You know, we have poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, these
Chiggers. Chiggers.
Chiggers, yeah. We're both eating up with, my wife and I are both eating up with chiggers right now. There's this little thin vine that has the most amount of thorns on it that I think I've ever seen. And you touch it, you'll get a rash from it, so I call it the Texas thicket. It's like you have to hack through the Texas thicket. But anyway, so I'm looking. Oh, and that was the other thing. I had a FPV that I got from the Goodwill. It's up there, but it's I could sit inside with a cool drink with an umbrella in it and the FPV thing on, and mow my lawn. So that would be ideal. Anyway, so that's all I have.
All right. Thanks, Ray. So in the last week and a day since Kareem and I got together to try and make these $73 RTK GPS units run, I spent really the whole week on documenting them, and I guess, well,
good evaluation or bad?
I got one of them, so I've documented them here, and let me post that in that link in the chat.
Okay.
So wrote up a pretty extensive treatise on how to set them up as a base station, but they're kind of neat little devices. So you all can see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they come with an antenna, and they can fit on top of a Raspberry Pi 4 or a Zero. So they got the Raspberry Pi connector there, and so I've documented how to, the hardware overview and how to use the app. It's got a Windows app to set up a base station and survey in the base station. So at this point, I've got a base station surveyed in, and publishing its location to RTK to go. So here it is. It's called Little Elm L1 L5 on RTK to go. And to your question earlier, Kareem, about did I have an outage? It's only showing 3 hours, 18 minutes, but I haven't touched it since then. So I don't know if RTK to go restarted. Well, maybe
Yeah,
it did because
I had an outage. I couldn't get to either yours or VN1 for most of the morning.
Well, look, all of the uptimes on all of these devices are at 3 hours 17 max. So
Yeah.
I suspect RTK to go restarted.
They seem to have that fairly often. I think they
Yeah.
get hit.
Uh-oh.
I have a feeling they're getting hit because they publish RTK stations that are sort of in the war zones and stuff like that as well, and so it's like they're becoming a target.
So
So
here you can see on the
War
map.
zones is in Ukraine and Iran.
in Ukraine, yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know about Iran, but in Europe, there's all sorts of tensions, to say the least. Kubota Central seems to have gone away. That was another one I used a lot.
So his
Man, you are way up there. You're almost in Oklahoma.
yeah.
I'm almost in Oklahoma. He's much further south.
And you're about down here somewhere.
Yeah.
But still, it's probably reasonable. Probably not more than 50 kilometers.
Yeah, 50K is considered a long baseline. They recommend under 10,
yeah,
but I think it would probably be usable. I just as soon as we get a receiver down here, it'll be good to
Yeah.
test.
So is RTK to go becoming less reliable because of, major wars or something?
Well, I'm just supposing that that's the reason for it. I have spoken with them, and they have told me that the number of denial of service attacks they've been under has been increasing.
Oh,
But they don't publish like health stats anywhere. So it's hard to know. And I have already got a flaky connection to the internet. So it's hard to know if it's my problem or if it's their problem unless I can, access from somewhere far distant.
but I frequently find that I can't get to them, can't even get to their main web page, and very, very disappointing.
good reason to have your own base station.
That's exactly right.
Yep. So and so let's see.
Contest day, you want to say RTK to go's not up. I can't run my robot.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it amount to.
Yeah.
But it's let's see.
I guess half the cost of having your own base station.
See if I stop sharing this and share window. This one, I think. You should be seeing my Windows window. Oops, if I press the share button.
So Paul, is your connection through Wi-Fi to get RTK to go?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm planning to use cellular, but when I tried it and took it down like out of Wi-Fi range, I'm using 0-tier and the latencies were just awful. But then I wasn't able to reproduce that. I pinged Kareem on it, and he said, well, he sometimes sees that, and then he restarts RTK to go, and everything's fine. And I did that, and everything was fine. So, so I haven't taken it outside again to try and test it. But this is the hardware that I took down to the lake. I was trying to measure the elevation of the lake and get a correspondence between what RTK said it was and what it really was. But it was interesting to see the numbers that it came up with when I had the antenna mounted on my roof, because it came up with like 70 feet below the actual elevation of my roof line, based on what I know about the elevation, which is based on the 100-year flood line of Lake Louisville. And turns out that it was in the raw data. When I did the survey it gave the height above the geoid, above the WGS84 geoid, which is the math model that everything's referenced to. And so I guess the model goes above the ground plane in this area of Texas. But then there's a local North Texas error that's like 6 feet in the other opposite direction. So you end up with like having to add 62 feet to the raw data. And the LC29H knows enough to add the offset from the WGS84 ovoid, but it doesn't know about the offset in North Texas. So there's some kind of like funky stuff that would need some correction factors. The other thing I found was I've been using No Machine to get remote access. And just by the way, before I go away from this screen, this is the in the screen I'm sharing here, the Windows screen running. It's running on the laptop here, so this is a No Machine virtual window on the laptop running SVR stream server, which is pulling in corrections from the RTK base station, the LC29H acting as a base station, and pushing them out to if I stop this and we can
RTK
push
to go.
them out to that's RTK to go's caster address and the mount point name. So there it is. It's just happily pumping data out. Let's see. So
I can see it coming in on my end.
okay, good. And so a thing to be wary of in these LC29Hs. Oh, before I go there, and while I've got the camera, is there? You got to read real carefully into their description to make sure you get the right one. So this one says it's an LC29H GPS module for Raspberry Pi, dual band L1L5. And here's the keyword that you got to look for in the description: supports RTK Rover. So then the other flavor of it is the base station flavor, and about the only difference you can tell. And here is it support, as it says in the description, supports RTK base. And if you look real carefully, you can just about make out that there's a BS underneath the LC29H there, and that will say DA on the Rover side. So it's very, very tricky to be sure you order the right part. And
You're not showing anything, Paul. So, but you have to actually look on the module itself, and it's very faint lettering, so you got to catch it in the light just the right way under a magnifying glass or a camera on your phone in order to be able to see whether it's a BS, a DA, which is the Rover. Yeah, right down there.
So there's the BS there.
Oh.
Pale on pale.
Right.
Laser etched.
Really hard to see, even
ink. But
Oh,
even
it
when
is
you
ink?
have it in your hands. Whereas the other one, you can kind of make out maybe that it says DA under the LC29H, but yeah, really hard to see. But anyway,
and the cheap
one,
the cheap one is the one that has no RTK support at all, and it gets listed along with the other two, so it's easy to mistakenly buy that one. Although it will still give you an L5 secondary channel, so it's good, but it's not RTK.
Yeah, not what you want. So that's really been the extent of my work has been in trying to get LC29Hs going and running over over zero tier so that they can use a cell phone for an access point, and it's been a bit of a drama and not much fun, honestly. But there it is.
So here's the thing you can do, Paul, if you decide to, and if you have a Windows machine available, is you can run the SNP server on your machine, and you can use it to both send data back up to RTK to go. But if you have a static IP, you could publish your own caster.
Mhm.
And so when RTK to go goes down, you can still provide it to your other local folks who are interested in an alternate source for L5 corrections.
Yeah. Good thought.
I might do that from down here once it's
Okay.
running.
Only other thing I've had going on is this is the brushless DC motor driver, and Vlad has been working on a little box to hold it that
Perfecting the
hopefully
cable.
will fit down in the front of the mower alongside the mow motors, and run the mow motors.
Or momos, I guess. What did you use a cell phone module for your, that part of the link, like a 4G cell phone module?
Oh, so that's actually another area that I've been working on. So I got these. Is that right way up? I don't know. These
Joy type.
cellular modem devices, and still working through issues. I dropped. I use Google Fi for my cell phone plan, and they let you just get another SIM card, and it draws from your data pool, and that worked great. I popped the other SIM card in it, and just came online. It's really effectively a cellular hotspot, and so you just have to give it USB. It does produce what looks like an Ethernet connection. If you plug the USB into a computer, it looks like there's a Ethernet NIC on the computer. And so anyway, using the Google Fi SIM, that worked great. But I wanted to see if I could make it available for more widely for people who don't use Google Fi, and most cellular plans don't offer a SIM like a tablet SIM that draws from your data pool. So I ordered a SIM from Hologram, and they had an inexpensive plan, but it didn't work for me because they sent me a SIM, but it was a smart SIM. It was something called EUICC, which means it can have multiple profiles in it. So instead of having to swap different SIMs in and out of possibly a dual SIM cell phone or whatever, you can electronically switch between different profiles. So it's sort of like having a selection of eSIMs in your cell phone, except that they're actually on a SIM card. They're eSIMs on a SIM card, and so cell phones are smart enough to understand this stuff. And when I put the SIM card in a spare cell phone, it was able to connect up just fine to the Hologram plan and give me a hotspot. But when I put that SIM card into one of these dongles, it just wouldn't read it. The admin web page for the dongle showed no SIM number. So I think that these are inexpensive LTE 4G SIM cards, so they're probably yesteryear's technology and aren't smart enough to deal with UICC or EUICC SIMs, or these multi-profile SIMs. So they send me some instructions that I don't think will work to try and make it work. But basically, I've moved on and ordered another SIM from a vendor who doesn't advertise having such smart SIM cards. So that's more than I really wanted to know about SIM cards.
Yeah, kind of my use. I got a SIM from T-Mobile, and I was just sending text messages to our phone from our home alarm system, and it would, and like I guess the commercially monitored ones, they have their own codes and coding and decoding, and not unless you want to try to figure out what all those codes are. I just sent text messages, so there's no code to interpret. It said master bedroom door open, or something. So I knew pretty much right away what it was, and that worked out. But now I've kind of gotten rid of all that stuff, and I'm using another approach. And so
yeah, so I'm planning to put one of these on the mower, so then it can go straight out to RTK to go, or potentially to a local SNP server over zero tier, and see how it works. But I'm just like running into stupid problems all over, like the Lord microstrain in-trip client that should pull from RTK to go doesn't. And it used to a year or two ago, but it doesn't anymore. And Kareem gave me some pointers, and which I haven't tried out yet. And then I tried to get Lino Robot going, and that wouldn't start. Just stupid problems. So
my fork of Lord Microstrain's driver does work when RTK to go is up. So it's just I still have issues where it sometimes gets detected as trying too often, even though I've set the thresholds much further down than they were initially. But if you want to, you might want to play with my fork. It's not on the main, like well, I can give you instructions offline if you ever want to try it out.
I'd appreciate that, Kareem. If you could point me to your repo and tell me what branch to check out, that'd be great.
Kind of sounds like for an extra $76, you could avoid most of those issues, but I know that seems pretty reasonable. What's that?
You just buy the high-end equipment and the high-end services, and it's all good, right?
Oh yeah, but what's that all cost?
Get a ZF9P with their antenna for 330 or so, and which I've got, and it works great. But I just didn't want to ask the rest of the Moberry team to plunk that kind of money down. And it seemed like we're in an age where L1, L5, RTK GPS using L1, L5 is coming in at a much cheaper price point than the ZF9P, which was the cheapest L1, L2 RTK GPS solution. So, I felt that was a worthwhile avenue to explore.
Well, I guess what, $76, and you have a base station. and
Well-
you have to buy the Rover if you want that. So
Well, actually, the Rover is obviously the interesting part because that's what goes on the robot. And my intent with setting up the base station and publishing it to RTK to go is that my collaborators can use
oh
and pull the correction stream off of RTK to go, so they don't need to buy a base station.
right, yeah,
And Kareem made me aware that the VN1 V2 mount point which is in sort of Richardson area is also supposedly offering L1, L5 corrections now. So, broadly, I think a few of us could and should put in some L1.5 correction base station servers, but most people should only need the $73 Rover module, which is pretty, by current standards, that's pretty inexpensive for
Yep.
RTK GPS. So I think that's about all that I've been up to.
how are you going to use the RTK GPS? Are you doing like perimeter areas and you're just having the robot kind of like follow compass headings in between, or
Yeah. Well, I don't see it following compass headings. I see it. So someone pointed me to this repo that apparently that will generate a path plan. So I see the robot following a path plan like this, going up and down.
Yeah.
And presumably there should be multiple points along these so that you can minimize cross track error. But there's a name for this shape apparently. It's called
striping.
Bustrofeeding.
Bustrofeeding
Oh,
path.
sounds like a foreign term.
Could almost use the 3D printing slicing.
Yeah.
That it looks like.
Yeah. And in fact, in the e-lawnmower project, they actually did take the path planner from a 3D milling or CNC machine planner and used it to generate their mower patterns. They set the tool width to like 12 inches because they had 12-inch wide lawnmowers, and it generated this kind of pattern, and it works. It worked pretty well.
Yeah, it looks like my my vacuum machine tapping. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the hope, is to use something like this. Ross does have a area coverage program, but I don't know if it really does this. So don't know exactly how that's all going to shape up.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the hope.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on with me. Kareem, I'm not sure if you had anything you wanted to talk about, or if we'll just throw it open to for Q&A and discussion.
Crickets.
Yeah, you muted Mike if you keep talking.
Well, I dusted off my Rover for outside. Now it's just waiting for some time to work on it. So they're sitting over there. It just needs to be, I guess, kind of powered up and make sure it still works, and and then get it ready for this fall.
How fast does it go?
Huh?
How fast do you intend to run it?
Oh,
Ground speed.
1 meter per second is pretty fast to control with Ross. But I don't know. It seems like you should be able to run a little faster, but
Well, it is a race, so
yeah.
mine
Well-
does about up to 1.5 meters per second, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I figure that would not be competitive once people get there.
Yeah, but once it finds everything, then I'll worry about speed
Mhm.
and doesn't get lost.
That's moving along 1.5 meters, and you said in 1 second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's not bad.
that's just walking pace. It's barely more than a mosey.
Yeah. Is that a technical term, a mosey?
It is 1.5 moseys.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I was
About 3 miles an hour, so it's not exactly dawdling.
It's a nice.
What?
It's a nice
dawdling.
scroll.
Yeah, another one.
Be hard for the people that are grading it to walk with it. You have to walk
that's
fast.
true. Especially to see the older people in our group get up the hill as it's cranking up there. Oh my God, I can't keep up. Which is the other thing, your robot's not supposed to be so fast that you can't, reach out and hit the kill switch, so.
That's like we need to start putting
Well-
seats on our bots and just riding them.
There you go.
Yeah.
More power.
You have a platform, Mike. You just ride the platform one.
Well, I guess the speed to look up is Scott's, and shoot for 150%. You'll be good.
Seems like the Moberry could be used for that task with a little bit of coding, huh?
Those motors are 70-1. They're not gonna.
No, the Moberry flat out will do about. I think I measured it at. What was it? It was 170 RPM. So about 1 revolution per second, little over.
Yeah,
And-
on an 8-inch wheel. Yeah.
And it's a 20 centimeter wheel, so that's 0.6 meters per second.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, and that's with 24 volts on the motor, so it's not going to go any faster.
Get 48 volts.
There you go. 100 volts. That's what you need to apply. They'll work really fast for a short time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first turkey trot that I ever ran, they line you up by, what is it? It's miles per hour, I think. And for some reason, I do about 6 miles an hour, but I think the guys that are up in the front are doing more like 10 miles an hour. The race for I forget what the turkey trot is. It's like 10 or 15K. I forget. I haven't run it in so long. But I walk up to the where I think I should be in the 10-minute mile or the 10-mile group, and it's like all these guys are a lot leaner and a lot taller than I am. And I'm thinking about that, and it's like, oh no, wait a minute, I'm actually I should be back at the 6-mile group, a lot further back in the crowd. So
you're saying that they order people by body type.
Well,
they're body shaming.
Body type and speed. With a certain body type, you can attain that speed, but so. But yeah. And then there's one guy. He says, he's got a T-shirt on that says, "I'm 70 years old." He's up in the close to the front. It's like, okay. So, But yeah, I always think of like walking speed is 3 miles an hour. My typical running speed is 6 miles an hour. So, I always have to, think, okay, that's so many miles per hour. What is that in kilometers per hour?
Anything else robotics related? If not, maybe we should call it a night.
I mean, I added open show control commands to the platform rotator, the sculpture rotation platform. So one computer can send it a command to rotate to a certain location. Yeah. So there's one show computer that runs a lot of stuff and then commands another computer to do something and commands the computer on the platform to rotate at the right time. And I found at my house in Wi-Fi, well, we have an older version of this QLab, which runs on our Mac, and it only supports UDP. And I noticed that sometimes it didn't rotate when it's supposed to. So my solution is to send it 4 times.
Yeah, UDP doesn't do retries, right?
I know. I'm telling them we need to spend money and upgrade our software so that it can use TCP. Oh well, so that's sort of robot related.
Yeah, I have actually let's see if I can. Am I echoing?
Yep.
Okay. How about that?
A little less.
That sounds better.
We got 2 people.
So I'm going to share my, because I've been working on one other aspect that is.
We got 2 microphones on the ball.
So I've been working on getting Robo Remo hooked up, and it's let's see, is that going to so it lets you hook up via Bluetooth, and I don't have any of the Bluetooth devices in range. But been working on the teleop interface, and that's it. So it's got a teleop button, which when you press it will send command val, so speed and turn off to the to a receiver on the ESP32, and this accelerometer here in the top right corner measures the speed or measures the angle of the phone. So the idea is, and I've had it hooked up to an Arduino and observed the velocity and angular turn coordinates coming out of it, which I don't have anything receiving it at the moment. But anyway, it's set up to where if I hold it like that, it should be stopped. Tilted forwards, it should go forwards. Tilted backwards, it'll go backwards, and then tilted sideways to turn left and right. And then the disable auto button, you would touch that to take over control and disable disable ROS sending commands into it. So you can like take complete control of it, let go of the teleop command, and ROS won't try and regain control of it. So I've been integrating that into the ESP32 code for Lino Robot. And that's where I discovered that things had stopped working in Lino Robot. So anyway, that was another thing that I've been working on.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Is that something of your own design, or was that an app that you found? And
No, Robo Remo is an app that has a free level, and if you use less than 5 widgets, you can use it for free. And they have Arduino code that will, examples of how to receive accelerometer readings or slider readings or buttons, and how to drive LEDs on the display. And if you want to use more than 5 widgets, then it's like $5 or $6. It's for forever. So it's a pretty good package.
yeah.
So I thought I'd share. I've mentioned Vizanti a few times. I think it's a visualization tool, mission planner type tool for RAWs. I just wanted to give you a quick preview of it. This is my robot. Now it's running downstairs, but this is on my phone. And so I have access to all sorts of things in the field without having a laptop handy. This is also the same phone I use as my mobile hotspot. So if I'm accompanying the robot and walking around behind it, I can get certain data. So what we're seeing right now is the 3D LiDAR cloud. Unlike RViz, this doesn't have a 3D view, so this is top down sort of a look. But the blue points that you see right there are the point cloud from the LiDAR. You can also see position, so the robot is sort of in the center of the screen right there. Odom reference is right there, and the actual map location is way off to the other side, but I can just squeeze it down and fit them all. And then I've got the TF turned off, so it's not showing a million TF things. So on the top here is your widgets that set the kinds of things that you want to see. So the TF is the one that looks like an axis. And so you can set which frames you want. On my robot, it's pretty complex. The number of TF frames I have is this really long list right here. So I've got most of them turned off right now because otherwise it would just flood the screen. So it's got a special way of handling, like compressing TF frames so that it can handle large data sets like this. The one that looks like a grid is the grid control, right? So if I tap it, I can set how I want the grid to render. This one is point clouds, right? And you can actually have multiple point clouds. So I have, like this one, you can see right here, it's L2 points. So the L2 is the LiDAR, the 3D LiDAR that I've got going, but I could also switch it to sonar cloud, which now you'll only see 16 points. And you can see them, you can still see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's 16 points around the robot, and those are my last ditch defense on obstacle avoidance, right? And then, but you can also, like, I could add a second one of those, and I could show both of them overlaying each other. And I've also got a point cloud from my depth camera available. And then if you want to add more things, you just go here, and then these are all the different things. So this is sort of like a foxglove light, except it's not super light. It's got a lot of functionality for cell phone capability, right? So like it's got a bag recorder, it's got a node manager. So the node manager lets you see all of the nodes that are running. I already had one up here. So you can see all the nodes that are running on the robot. The ones that are in green here are lifecycle nodes. And it can restart the lifecycle nodes. You can cancel any node, like you can kill the node if you want. You can see details about the node.
Hmm.
So this is running with it. Excuse me. Sometimes it's easy to back out of it since it's a browser app. So this is just running in sort of Chrome, the Chrome browser on my phone, right? So I don't know. There's a lot in here, right? You can even like see the folders on your host and things like that. Again, bag recorder is pretty cool. The robot model is not a. It doesn't give you like a URDF 3D render. It's just lets you choose like a widget that acts as your. So if I wanted to like change it, I'd go into it, and then maybe I'd go to. This one looks more like my robot. Shit, I keep going backwards.
It's a cool app. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool app. So I highly recommend it to those of you who are doing outdoor work in RAWs. Phones deal better in harsh sunlight than most laptops do, and but this will also work on a tablet. It'll work on a laptop, and so it's just it's worth a look.
How do you spell the name of it?
Vizanti.
D like dog.
V is in Victor.
V I Z like zebra.
Yep.
ANTI. ANTI. T for Tom.
Yep.
And so is that an app that runs on your Linux system?
So you can run it anywhere in the robot network, right? So basically it uses a ROS, it leverages ROSBridge. So and if you want a higher, more performant, you want to do it with the RWS backend. But you can get that to work with standard fast RTK GPS. Although it wants the dynamic version, but so you can, I am running it on my robot right now, but I could be running it on my administrative host PC that's also on the same network, in which case the RAWs style messages have to go to the host PC, and then the bridge translates it, and then it becomes a web app. So as far as the browser's concerned, it's just going to a web page.
Oh. I like that. It's very
There's
cool.
a topic inspector. You can do joystick teleop. It'll emulate a joystick.
Oh.
Can you play back the ROS bag?
You can do waypoint missions. You can record bags. I don't think you can play it back. Here, that's where you'd want to go to Foxglove or.
I saw it up above. It was higher than you're showing right there. Go.
There's a recorder.
Bag recorder.
There's a recorder. That's not the same as a playback.
Right.
It's one way in, no way out.
But it means that you can, you know, the issue I always have is like, oh, I'm seeing something interesting. I should have restarted a ROS bag, but I didn't. So now's the time to do it. And so you can launch one on the fly, and then you can analyze it after the fact in Foxglove or whatever.
I like that a lot. You've mentioned it before, Kareem, I remember.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like, you know, there are so many tools in this space, and I'd forgotten about it. But
yeah,
thanks for
there's
the
a lot of
reminder.
them. Sure. Okay. How do I stop this?
Very cool. Yeah, I like that a lot, and that'll be good for interacting at the ROS level. This Robo Remo I was showing is going to interact at the ESP32 level. So it's like the lowest level, take over and shut off ROS, tell it to be quiet, ignore what it says, and drive it regardless of of anything. So I think there's a place for both.
Yep.
Very cool. Thank you for that demo. Okay.
Oh.
Anything else robot related?
Yeah, the question, the Rev 4 stuff, is it their main controller? Is that more or less, an Android phone app that's running on it? And do you guys still use that, or are you kind of forced to use it if you use Rev controllers?
So I didn't quite follow the question. So
Okay,
and let me try answering it and then tell me if I'm
Okay.
off the mark. All right. So the basic, you're asking about the Rev hubs, right?
I think so, yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
So they got two different versions of their hubs. One is called the expansion hub. And what it wants to do is it wants to talk to an Android app, right? Then there's the other one that's called the control hub, which has an Android device built into it.
Oh, okay.
It's actually built on Android TV, version 7 something or other. And so there you don't have to have a separate Android device to control it. So if you're doing the expansion hub alone, that'll give you 4 motor controllers, and it'll give you 6 servos. It'll give you 6 digital I/O and 6 analog I/O and RS-485 and I squared, like 4 I2C buses. So they give you a lot of things, and the control hub gives you exact same hardware access. So you can also daisy chain them together. So like in our robots, we typically have 1 expansion hub and 1 control hub. And the way you control it is you write the extensions to an FTC controller app, which is a standard Android app that runs that has a GitHub repository, right? And they update it every year. And so that is the app that runs either on a phone attached to an expansion hub or a control hub as possibly attached to an expansion hub. And so it's typically written in Java. That's a Java SDK. So that's how you would access it.
So it's FTC hasn't really gotten into ROS, or
no,
ROS
this is all a lower level type of thing. Technically, there are various ports to Android ROS. It's not a first what do you call it? It's not a First Nation kind of relationship there. They also tried to make Windows a native ROS 2 platform. It's part of their stated objectives, but that sort of fell by the wayside. And it's really truly a Linux type thing. But there are some ROS like messaging stacks that do in fact, there's some recent ones that run on Android that have a lot of ROS functionality built in. So it's sort of like the ESP32 controller that the Moberry team is using, but on steroids, I guess, because so I think it still communicates. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. It's been a while since I looked at it, but there have been some recent developments there, and I just haven't clued in. Haven't looked at them closely enough. So I don't think that they're using the micro ROS port. I think they're actually I think it's full-fledged RAWs messaging, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I'm not exactly sure how they got to that, so I need to double check.
Wow. So were there other, I don't know if you'd call it a primary controller or not, or does everybody have to use Rev products now, or?
For the FTC is
Yeah.
required. It's required.
Required. Wow.
Yeah, it's a required platform. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is that they're coming to an end. In that FTC put out a request for proposals for a new control system.
Ooh.
What they want to do is they want to merge. So both, they decided to end of life the Rev control system
Yeah.
and the one that FRC was using, and they want a unified control system that does both. And the company that won that was not Rev. The smart money would have been on Rev, but I think I've mentioned that we have this camera, and I'm totally blanking on the kind of live wire. No, it's I'm totally blanking on the name. There is a camera that we are using on the robot that is produced by a company that's done bits and pieces for both FRC and FTC. Limelight. It's Limelight, and they were the winning bidder, and so they are producing the new system, and I believe it's sort of Pi 5 based with a lot of custom hardware built around it. And that's going to be coming out in 2 years. Like, they're already doing some of the beta testing, but this next year is sort of, I think this next year, starting in the fall, is the last official year of the Rev control system.
Wow.
For FTC, and then they're switching to this new one.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's, I don't think it is, so it won't be Android based, it'll be Unix, Linux. I don't know which flavor of Linux is going to be on it. But the nice thing is it'll have, direct access. It's still going to be pricey from a robotics hobbyist standpoint. But it should have a pretty rock solid and well supported minimum set of devices. And I know it's going to have all right, now I'm blanking. What's the car control system called? Data bus for cars?
I2C?
No, for cars.
Or CAN?
CAN.
CAN,
It's
yeah.
gonna have CAN bus, as well as it'll probably still have I2C and some of the others, but it'll also have CAN bus on it. Which is nicer for the larger robots.
Wow.
I don't know if Rev ever offered stock, but I guess now would be a good time to sell.
I have a feeling they'll be all right. They've got their fingers in a lot of different pies, and so I think they'll be all right. I think they're doing a lot of direct sales to outside of FTC to school STEM departments and things like that as well. So I don't know that it's their system, that their control system's going to go away, but I haven't really heard.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Rev, did anyone go to the Robot Rodeo that was at their facility?
Nope.
I tried to. I went there and the parking lot was full and there was like nowhere nearby to park. So I went out to DMS for a little while to do some work on some stuff, and then I got busy and didn't get back there. So I watched it on YouTube though. They were streaming it. So it was good.
Smaller plastic bottle bots then?
Yeah, I got amp weight and beetle weight. It's always a good time.
Interesting.
I guess at that small, you don't have to invest in thick plexiglass walls to protect the
well, I still
viewers.
Some of those little machines are lethal.
Oh, are they? Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, they'll send each other ricocheting around the walls. A lot of fun to watch.
Maybe you do need thicker plexiglass then.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Going once, going twice, going three
Night,
times.
y'all.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.